Welcome everyone to the 2022 SPECEF Award Ceremony. My name is Anna Gruber. I'm the current SPECEF Vice Chair and Scholarship Lead. And today I have the honor to be your host and lead you through the award ceremony. On behalf of the board, I want to thank and welcome all of our special guests that are here with us today, and our award winners and their family and faculty that are here to support them as well. So we'll begin today with an overview of today's event, how long it's going to be, and what will unfold first. And then we'll go through a bit of a history on SPECEF and the great contribution the organization has made to students across Canada in the past few years. So to start with the completion of my opening remarks, our SPECEF Chair, David, will introduce our board before we get to really the funnest part of this event, announcing our winners. This will all take approximately 45 minutes, and then we'll have an optional virtual networking session for any students that are interested to participate and really get to ask questions to the SPECEF board members and to each other even. We can talk about any questions you may have related to career opportunities, following your studies, and so on. I also wanted to note that details concerning testimonials and scholarship disbursement will be shared following the meeting. So all the questions you've been sending to Aboon will be answered. Do not worry about that. So now switching gears to give you an overview of SPECEF, our organization. It stands for the Society of Petroleum Engineers Canadian Educational Foundation. Formed from a trust fund originally back in 1999, SPECEF was registered as a Canadian charity in 2016, and since inception has had the mission to support and promote individuals and programs to advance energy literacy in Canada. To date, SPECEF has awarded over $500,000 in scholarships to over 100 students across Canada. This would not have been possible without generous donors such as Mr. Benedictson and the original SPECEF endowment. So today, the SPECEF board is pleased to announce the 2022 scholarship winners to another 17 deserving students for a total cash prize of $62,500. I'll now pass it off to David, our keynote speaker, who will introduce our board and our first special guest.
Thanks a lot, Anna. And I just want to thank Anna and Aboon, guys, for putting together this event. So Anna is going to be our first intro on our SPECEF board, right? A little bit of context here. So SPECEF, what we're all about, we're about energy literacy, we're about scholarships, and we're about fundraising and financing those two pillars that preceded the third pillar, the cash flow to make it happen, right? So Anna leads our scholarship team. She's one of the 8 board members that we have right now. If you look at that slide pack, and if we could just toggle back super quickly, Anna, please, or Aboon, what you can see is I'm currently the chair. So my name is David Langell. I'm at Shell Canada. I work deep water IT planning, but I'm based out of Calgary. I joined SPECEF in 2020, and I took over as the chair for the board in 2021. We presently have 8 people on our board, and to represent those 3 pillars, we have Tarek, who's looking after finance and fundraising. Tarek's a management consultant. Anna's at Kiera. She's covering ESG, and that's kind of a cool lens when you look at kind of how we're entering the energy sector and the coverage that our board has in terms of a diverse perspective on the energy sector. So Anna leads scholarships. Historically, Vanessa was our energy literacy lead. Vanessa's at Alberta Innovates, and Vanessa just popped up on the screen there too. Hi, Vanessa. Vanessa's handed over the reins of energy literacy to Aaron Madrow. So Aaron, formerly at Synovus, now at Evoke Innovations, Aaron's leading our energy literacy initiative. Aaron works with Teresa Waddington. Teresa's at LNGC, so LNG Canada, subsidiary of Shell, and Teresa sits on our energy literacy committee as well. You guys are interested in kind of some youth focused, kind of really topical energy literacy animations. Teresa's living it up with that on her LinkedIn page, and she's really passionate in that space. So we're glad to have Teresa as an energy literacy committee member. We have Ramez Hanaala. Ramez works at Chevron, and he's actually just moved down to Midland. He's supporting some of the Midland shales exposure with Exxon down there. Ramez is on our finance and fundraising committee. The last but not least, Gatan, who you can see Gatan on video here as well. Gatan has a lot of industry experience in terms of the energy sector. He's at Catapult, but he's got a little bit of a side hustle there with Highwood emissions as well. And Gatan has that MBA kind of enterprising mindset that we like and really helps us on the scholarships and the finance and fundraising side of things. So I want to put a plug in here as well, guys. We're currently shopping for some new board members and additions, and I think Anna's going to plug that to the scholarship recipients a little later here. But we have applications up on LinkedIn and on our website. We're looking to add some more diversity, non-Albertan, kind of more diverse aspects of the energy industry to cover different segments on our board. So that's the board in a nutshell. When we talk about energy literacy and kind of finance and fundraising scholarships, what we're stoked to have you guys here today receive these scholarships. We're enthused about this because you guys are doing the right things, right? When we talk about the energy sector, we really want to have and purport kind of a balanced approach. We know that oil and gas is important, but we know that there are emissions considerations, and the energy spectrum is a lot of different things that need to power our homes and power our lives. It's all important, and we know that we can't make these transitions, at the snap of our fingers or overnight. So we really like that balanced view. We feel that the scholarship recipients here today are doing a great job to show that they're passionate about the energy sector, right? They're being active in their industry and involved with SPECEF and kind of the other volunteering opportunities that they've afforded and kind of expressed in their applications. And SPECEF wants to support them and say thanks and acknowledge all the cool stuff that you guys are doing in your academic lives. So thanks for being here today. Anna, if we can go to the next slide, please. I'd like to lead in with a little bit of an intro to Mr. Stefan Benediktsson. And guys, I don't know about you, but Mr. Benediktsson, you're the only octogenarian that I've been on a Teams call with this week. Okay, so I just want to attest. I think that just speaks to the learner mindset that Mr. Benediktsson has had throughout his life. So we've got a cool bio for Mr. Benediktsson on our website, and coming from a small central Alberta farm. Mr. Benediktsson actually started out without finishing high school, right? He dropped out. He started at Imperial Oil's drilling department, and his department had actually encouraged him to go back to school. And Mr. Benediktsson ended up graduating from the University of Alberta at the age of 24 in 1962, okay? So when you think about that, learner mindset, I did the math, right? Mr. Benediktsson, sorry, he's 84. I don't know if that's acceptable to note in terms of age, but that just shows the passion for learner mindsets that we see here, right? And when you think about some of the scholarship applications that we see people who have come from other countries and chased another degree. We see people who have started out maybe in a trade and come back and gone to a technical diploma. That's awesome. That's all great. That's part of that learner mindset that we think is so important. And that's why it's also so awesome to have Mr. Benediktsson as a benefactor for this particular scholarship after his name. So what's also special about this today is Mr. Benediktsson kind of, went back to school, became very successful in the petroleum industry within Alberta and internationally. He actually lived in 9 different countries, right? So the thing that we want to attest today is Mr. Benediktsson is able to participate in this call. He's made a video recording that he's going to award our first scholarship recipient today. So Anna Aboon, I'm not sure if you're ready to cue that up, but we can go from there.
Greetings. I'm always pleased to have something going on with the SPE. Congratulations for the fine job you're all doing for the Canadian SPE members. What you're doing is very supportive of our technology. Before we had the SPE in Canada, petroleum engineers joined the CIM&M for their professional contacts, as I did. I joined the SPE in 1974 when I was working for Aramco in Saudi Arabia. Later in 1980, when I was managing an American oil company in Abu Dhabi, I became one of the founding directors of the SPE branch there. I established the Benedictson Scholarship with the SPE in appreciation for all of the scholarships I was awarded each year at the University of Alberta. I grew up on a farm in the Markville district, settled by Icelandic immigrants in the late 1880s. Farm boys work on the rigs, generally would go to work away from the farm in the winter months. So, I chose to go to work on drilling rigs and did not go back to the farm. Some years later, a high school dropout, married with one son, I decided to further my education. I must say that my mother contributed to that by pushing that, and that was one of the best decisions I ever made. I have had a wonderful career working and living in several different countries in the oil and gas industry. We are in an amazing industry, never more challenging than today. It's difficult to comprehend how a country like Russia could at this time resort to armed conflict as it has done in the Ukraine, with the threat of additional attacks and use of nuclear weapons. On a happier note, the winner of this year's Benedictson Scholarship is KALEN. KALEN is a third-year university student at the University of Calgary. He has demonstrated his passion and drive to contribute to the energy industry. Congratulations, KALEN. God bless you all. Let's pray for the resolution of today's armed conflicts.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benedictson. So guys, just when you look at that, Mr. Benedictson's been an SPE member for, as he noted, 1972. That's over 50 years, right? And to have that continued support to support these scholarships and, you know, express the learner mindset, kind of that lifelong learner aspect, supporting the industry for people like KALEN, I think that's great. Mr. Benedictson, very appreciative of your donation to SPECEF and your continued involvement with these scholarship activities. Really want to thank you, and on behalf of KALEN, thank you for the support with his scholarship in particular this year. KALEN, congrats. You know, you've got somebody who's a seasoned veteran in the energy industry, someone who's made a donation to your personal growth and to SPECEF, somebody who's an author, right? Somebody who's got a lot of history in the Alberta oil field, kind of pumping your tires. So really want to recognize you, KALEN, and thanks for everything that you do. Anna?
Thank you, David. Mr. Benedictson, if you want to share some additional words, please feel free, or we can move on to the next award as well.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure. It's a great pleasure to be associated with the SPE. And thank you for all the kind words today.
Thank you.
Hey, no worries. Just one closer, guys. If you get a chance to check out Mr. Benedictson's bio that we have on the SPECEF site, it's great. And one of the things that he says is he hopes that you know, these scholarships motivate students to work hard, seriously study, and get good marks so that you can do well after you graduate. So I think that's a great sentiment to convey to all the recipients here today.
Thank you, David.
Yes.
Perfect. I will pass it off now to Gaten, who will introduce our next special guest. So Gaten, hand it over to you.
Thanks, Anna. I appreciate it. So it's my privilege today to introduce Barry Hansen. He's the namesake of the Barry Hansen Leadership Award, which was created to honor the legacy of Barry, which is the catalyst of the founding of the Society of Petroleum Engineers Educational Foundation. He's a major reason, honestly, why we're all gathered here today, sitting on a call from people across Canada. Barry started his career in the energy industry as a summer student in 1979, which, oddly enough, is the same year I was born. So that kind of goes to show you how long he's been in this industry. In '85, Barry became involved with the SPE, attending his first technical conference, which so happened to be in Vegas at the time. And he was quick to admit that conferences back then were not as technical as they are nowadays. And I could probably understand why. In '89, Barry was one of the charter members to get the SPE established a Canadian section itself. And he served in the Canadian section for over 30 years now. That included an 8-year tenure on the SPE Canada board, but he's also done countless committees, golf committees and reserves committees, all kinds of stuff over the years. He took a small break from the Canadian section from 2010 to 2013, and when he did a work term in France. But even then, I asked him, like, so you took a break from SPE then? And no, of course not. While he was in France, he served on the membership committee while there too. So, you know, very lifelong commitment to the SPE. When he came back to Canada, he was instrumental in restructuring the SPE Education Trust Fund to this organization today, SPECEF, which is the Education Foundation. And he was really key in those early days, setting the mission, vision, values, establishing strategy, and just kind of setting course, a long-term plan for the organization. And kind of, you know, that dream that we're trying to follow today. In 2015, he was awarded the SPE Regional Service Award for Canada. And in 2017, he was selected as an SPE Distinguished Member. He's still active with the SPE today, and he sits on the Oil and Gas Reserves Committee. And still likes to attend conferences, and I'm sure he's crossing his fingers that there's going to be another one in Vegas soon. I'm going to pass it on to Barry and let him go here.
Well, thanks, Gaetan. I don't know about ATCE in Vegas. I think it was one of those situations that was very financially rewarding for the city of Vegas, but not so much for the attendees. It's an honor to be presenting the award again this year. This is the second time since its inception late in 2020. As David and Gaetan have mentioned, the Canadian Educational Foundation was incorporated in December in 2015 and replaced the Canadian Education Trust Fund. The foundation's role in supporting education of energy-related issues is greatly expanded from the capabilities of the trust fund that it succeeded. Although I was involved in the creation of and the initial growth of the foundation, credit is also due to those other individuals with the vision to see the potential of an organization with extended opportunities. Those people include Helen Chang, David Quirk, Karen Santillana, and our good friend who has since passed away, Dennis Hahn, but also to those who have succeeded me on the foundation board, the ones who are in attendance here today included, who believe in the mission of energy education that the foundation is founded on. So this award is in recognition of leadership. So just let me spend a minute or two talking about that subject. I'm sure you've all heard that good leaders are not necessarily the most capable individuals, but that they seek assistance from those that can help them achieve their objectives. Today, I want to thank those individuals that have helped me achieve I want to thank those individuals that have asked me to help achieve their objectives and those that have helped me achieve mine, especially as they relate to today's SPECEF. There are many publications and articles discussing as to what makes a good leader, including the characteristics and the actions of those. To me, this was most appropriately summed up by an individual named Jia Lin, commenting on The Art of War by Sun Tzu, a book that reportedly dates back to the 5th century BC. In the comment to that, Jia's comment was, leadership is a matter of intelligence, trustworthiness, humaneness, courage, and discipline. Reliance on intelligence alone results in rebelliousness. Exercise of humaneness alone results in weakness. Fixation on trust results in folly. Dependence on the strength of courage results in violence. Excessive discipline and sternness in command result in cruelty. When one has all 5 virtues together, each appropriate to its function, then one can be a leader. So the Barry Hansen Leadership Award was created to honor the involvement of one of the founding members of SPECEF. His involvement in the society spans 35 years as of 2020, and his commitment to the society was one of passion and dedication. This award is given to an engineering student enrolled in a Canadian university who has shown outstanding commitment to providing revolutionary leadership in their community and or school. And by the way, that's the description of the award. The recipient of this year's award comes from Memorial University of Newfoundland, the same school as last year's award winner, and is Sanjay Dubey. Sanjay is in his last year of a 4-year PhD program in the Department of Process Engineering at Memorial. He is the past president of the SPE student chapter at MUN and a past vice president of the EAGE MUN student chapter. He's currently the volunteer director of membership in the Newfoundland chapter of the Project Management Institute. Mr. Dubey has been an SPE member since 2019 and continues to volunteer and support the current student chapter executive. Congratulations, Sanjay, and best of work in completing your PhD studies and your future career in the energy industry. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Good 10, I think we'll move on now to our general scholarship winners, starting with diploma students. So pass it off to you.
Right, that's perfect. I'm really proud to represent these 2 students taking their technology diplomas. They both have something in common in that they both have already taken on roles in the energy industry and decided to do that lifelong learning thing that Dave was talking about earlier and jump in and double down and do some extra skilling in petroleum technology, both with a very clear idea and path that they want to go back into the energy industry coming up. The first one, he flashed on the screen, now he's gone, but I'd like to congratulate him. A guy with 3 first names. At first I was like, okay, is his name Levin or Alex? But it's Levin. So congrats to Levin. I believe it's actually the first student that we award from Cape Breton University, which was kind of an interesting one when I looked at that. You know, I was really impressed with his application, specifically for that passion and energy. It was really clear how passionate he was, and just the fact that, you know, he was in the industry and really committed himself to it, and, you know, got back to school and felt that he just wanted to refine a little bit of what he was doing and get back into SPE. And so I'm really just excited to have him as an ambassador at energy. And so with that, I'd like to congratulate Levin as the first General Scholarship Award winner. The second fella, his name is Jean-Paul Chevalier, and I think I was probably chosen to do these ones probably because I speak French, possibly, when I look at this. I don't think he's on today. I did get a chance to reach out to him. He's actually working back out on the rigs already, which is great to see. For me, 2 notable things with JP when I read his application. He's a guy that did the hard time on the rigs. He's got 18 years of rig experience. I mean, and it's dragged him across Canada into the States. This guy's probably forgotten more about oil well drilling than a lot of people know. I'm certain that all the other students in class and even the professors were asking this guy questions as he goes to school. And, you know, that's just something to be really proud of. He also doubled down too, didn't slack off on education. By jumping into a president role for the NATE SPE student chapter, and we really like to recognize students that take that extra amount of time to contribute their time to the SPE and all those local chapters. So again, just congratulations, JP. One of the pleasant things about talking to him is I know he's an Oilers fan and he's going to be watching the hockey game with me tonight. So really happy about that, and congratulations, and well-deserved candidate.
Thank you, Gatan. I just realized, I'm sure everybody feels the same, but it's a little bit quiet for an award ceremony. So maybe we can, at the end of all the announcements, we can come off mute and give them an actual real life round of applause that they can hear to make it feel a little bit more real. But for now, I will pass it off to Vanessa, who will present the general scholarship winners for the undergraduate category.
Thanks so much, Anna. And it is definitely my great pleasure to present these scholarships to our undergraduate group of students. If we could advance to the first slide, please. Awesome. And so our first recipient is Jan Choi, who is a fourth-year petroleum engineering student at the University of Alberta. She serves as the Vice President External for the Society of Petroleum Engineers University of Alberta chapter. It's fantastic to see another powerful woman in these positions to be able to help move equity, diversity, and inclusion forward. And so Jan, very proud of you in terms of your roles, not only in excelling in university, but also excelling in the external activities that you undertake in terms of your extracurricular activities. Congratulations. And our next undergraduate awardee is Solomon Jolly. Solomon Jolly attends Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, where he's in his fourth year of Applied Technology Petroleum Engineering program. He's worked with Cenovus Energy on enhanced oil recovery as a development engineering student, and has, you know, very much, I think, developed a strong work ethic in terms of the opportunities that he's had to extend his career through his work terms, as well as to contribute to the activities that are going on in his school at SAIT. So congratulations very much, Solomon. Our next awardee is ZARIN TASNIM, and she is a third-year mechanical engineering student at Memorial University in Newfoundland. Currently is the Director of International Representation within her engineering society. Love the fact that she is taking up that role of helping to be that liaison between international students and faculty. And just the very positive impact that obviously ZARIN is having on the world with helping to work towards the world's transition to sustainable energy. Congratulations so much, ZARIN. Our next awardee is Nuru Kemaryo, who is a fourth-year process engineering student at the Memorial University of Newfoundland. She is the Director of International Representation for the Engineering Society. Is obviously a well-organized young lady with respect to contributing to lunch and learns and help shaping the importance of diversity and inclusivity in young aspiring engineers. Again, another a very strong group of participants or awardees that we're seeing here today in this category with respect to their drive and passion to progress equity, diversity, and inclusion, and try to move forward the position or the perspective of engineering. Congratulations, Niru. Our next awardee is Maria Downey, who is, wow, we have a lot of wonderful candidates that were getting awards from Memorial. Good show, well done, folks. Maria is a second-year process engineering student at Memorial. She is involved with Engineers Without Borders, Memorial chapter, and is involved in the major events fundraising executive. So Gaetan, you may want to put a make a note in your file as we're looking for future members of our finance and fundraising committee. You know, again, very obviously a very passionate individual working with Engineers Without Borders. And so congratulations very much, Maria. Our next awardee is Daisy Kove, and she, oh, wow, you guys from MUN are amazing. Oh my gosh. 5th year International Mechanical Engineering student at Memorial. Again, another individual who obviously is very passionate about not only progressing her own career, but helping those around her. Daisy helps new students settle into the program and mentors junior engineering students on how to find jobs. Love the fact that she knows where she wants to be, and you know, obviously Western Canada would be very, very, very lucky to have you. Congratulations, Daisy. Back to you, Anna.
Thank you, Vanessa. Yeah, that was another great group of award winners. I will now present the final category of award winners, the General Scholarship Awards for the Graduate category. Again, here we have a very diverse group in terms of backgrounds and interests and pursuits in education. All of them have very strong academic background, SPE leadership experience, and extracurricular activities. They were very impressive, so we'll go through them one by one. We have 7 winners. So we'll start with Reza Zainali Torbati, who is a 6th year mechanical engineering student at Memorial University of Newfoundland. He has 6 publications at conferences and journals. He's held over 30 teacher assistant positions and has also been awarded a Fellow of School of Graduate Studies award. So really great achievements on his part there. So congratulations, Reza. Our next winner is Oluwafemi Tetler, who is a 1st year oil and gas engineering graduate student at Memorial University of Newfoundland once again. He's an ambitious young man who wants to make an impact in sustainable mining by drilling, and he's also held various officer positions in SPE student chapters. Congratulations, Oluwafemi. Sorry about that. Our next winner is Gabriela Morales Herman, who is a 4th year engineering PhD student at the University of Calgary. Gabriela has come back to study after 7 years of working in the oil and gas industry, and she wants to contribute to the industry by looking at ways to address technical challenges. She's very active with her extracurricular activities, which include volunteerism in You Speak, Teaching Squares, and Engineering Education Student Society, among others. We really love the fact that you make time to contribute to the community while you pursue your studies as well. So well done, Gabriela. Our next winner is Yi-Kun Lee, who is a 1st year Master's Petroleum Engineering student at the University of Alberta. He's the Vice President of Finance SPE Student Chapter at the University of Alberta. He's won Petroleum Engineering Presentation Award, and he's also active with his extracurricular activities. One that stands out to me was that he is the engineering student leader that introduces the Faculty of Engineering to high school students. And the reason why this really resonated with me and the rest of the board is that really that aligns very well this organization SPECEF stands for. So well done, Yi-Kun. We'll move on to our next award winner, who is Mohammed Yusuf Jabbar, who is a 3rd year Chemical Engineering PhD of Calgary. Mohammed is studying the life cycle assessment of carbon capture, utilization, and storage for enhanced oil recovery. This is very timely given our energy landscape, so I'm sure his studies will be very well received by the industry. He's held various SPE leadership positions since 2020 as well, and participated in some Petrobowl competitions as well. Congratulations, Mohammed. Our next winner is Hamza Ali Mohammadi, who is a third-year PhD petroleum engineering student at the University of Calgary. He has worked in the industry as well following the completion of his master's degree before he took on the new challenge of continuing his education with his PhD studies. And he also participates as a technical committee member with SPE and other organizations, and has published various papers for SPE conferences. Congratulations, Hamza. Our next and final winner, definitely not, she's also a great winner here. Last but not least, as they say, is Dalila Kapados, who is a second-year second-year engineering master's student focused on sustainable energy development at the University of Calgary. So Dalila has 6 years of experience working in the oil and gas industry. She has worked as a well testing engineer both onshore and offshore. And what I love about Dalila's story is that she actually took some time off to raise her kids and now is back to ready to get back into the workforce. And she wants to do it first by getting additional education and in the space of sustainable development, particularly energy storage development. And this is really a great testament to how females, working moms, can get back into the workforce, and we want to be there to support that and really support opportunities that Dalila could bring to Alberta with her work in compressed energy storage studies. So I want to congratulate Dalila. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. That wraps up all of our winners. So let's take a moment here to maybe come off mute and give them a big round of applause. Just to kind of make it feel real. Yeah.
Great job, everyone.
Well done.
Everyone.